Welcome, everyone, to the annual celebration of the Laudato Si Action Platform. It is a true joy to be together here today, and with so many of you from all over the world to celebrate another year of actions, inspirations, challenges, and accomplishments on this journey toward integral ecology. Please introduce yourself in the chat with your name and where you're from. My name is Sarah Mundell, and it's my pleasure to greet you from the United States on behalf of the entire team worldwide working for the Laudato Si Action Platform. The platform is a project of the Vatican's Dicastery for promoting integral human development, with the Laudato Si movement as its global operational partner. Today, we are celebrating 3 years that participants of the Laudato Si Action Platform have been walking together in the spirit of Pope Francis's encyclical letter for which the platform is named. Whether families or organizations, schools or universities, parishes, dioceses, religious congregations and communities, businesses or healthcare institutions, everyone has been working individually and collectively in a process of ecological conversion that includes reflection, creating Laudato Si plans, and putting those plans into action. So we're celebrating you today, this global community committed to caring for our common home in a vast array of environments, when it's easy and when it's challenging, and through the various Laudato Si goals. So a big thank you to each of you for all you're doing and for being here with us today. Just a few announcements before we begin. If you need translation, we're offering translations in Spanish, Italian, French, or Portuguese. You can access them through the Interpretations button at the bottom of your screen. Click the Interpretations button, then choose your language. There will also be 2 videos in Spanish on this main channel, so we ask our English speakers to change their channel to Spanish during those videos, and we'll let you know when that will be. Then this celebration is also being recorded and live streamed on YouTube. You will be able to watch it later on the YouTube channel of the Laudato Si Action Platform, where you can also see slides and speaker information if you're interested. Then, as a way to build up this global community, we do ask that your comments in the chat be positive and respectful. If you'd like to look at our netiquette guidelines, which you agreed to in your registration, you can find them at the link in the chat. There will be a community meeting immediately following the celebration. So if you didn't register yet, you can still do so now at the link in the chat. As a reminder, it's a separate Zoom call and you'll need a different link to connect. So make sure to register to continue our discussion there. Now, today's celebration will be a time to pray, to hear from representatives of the Vatican's Dicastery for promoting integral human development, learn updates about the platform's participants, and from someone who's attended the UN Biodiversity Summit last month in Colombia, and from bishops from 2 of our participating dioceses of Lexington in the United States and from Japan. So make sure to stay until the end also to hear a beautiful song from one of our participants. Now we'll have a prayer from Sister Claudia Cestini, who is a religious of the Asociación Congregación Santa Catarina. Sister Claudia has a degree in pedagogy from the Union of Colleges of Criciúma and a master's degree in production engineering from the Universidade Federal de Santa Maria. Her production engineering work is mostly related to education, global compact on education, pastoral ministry, sustainability, integral ecology, public policies, and evaluation of the education system. So she brings years of experience in the educational sector and collaborates as the religious outreach coordinator in Brazil for the Laudato Si movement special projects team, providing support. Actually, and now she's living in Utah, we just found out. She's providing support for the Laudato Si Action Platform to the religious sector. So Sister Claudia, we invite you to share your prayer. It will be in Portuguese, and there's English translation on the screen.
Ó Deus, nós os louvamos e agradecemos pela obra da criação, manifestação da vossa presença entre nós. Em tempo de preparação ao jubileu do nascimento de Jesus Cristo, no ano de 2025, reconhecemos nossas dívidas, especialmente com a Mãe Terra, e de coração arrependido, pedimos perdão, dispostos a viver a reconciliação conosco mesmos e com todas as criaturas. Com a divina Ruá, o sopro de Deus, reconhecemos o sopro da inspiração que cria e recria o universo e faz novas todas as coisas. Com Jesus ressuscitado, batizados, formamos comunidade de fé e peregrinos da esperança, caminhamos rumo à terra prometida. Com o Espírito Santo, somos abençoados, abençoadas, impulsionados e impulsionadas para viver em comunhão na participação e em missão no cuidado da nossa casa comum. Assim, de coração agradecido, irmanados na fraternidade da criação, damos glória à Trindade Santa, a comunidade por excelência, que é Pai, Filho e Espírito Santo. Amém.
Sarah, turn on your mic.
Thank you. Obrigada, Sister Claudia. As you know, the Laudato Si Action Platform is a project of the Vatican's Dicastery for promoting integral human development, which is like a department within the Vatican. So I'm glad to introduce this next video message from a representative of the Dicastery, Father Patricio Enrique Sarlat Flores. Since he'll speak in Spanish in this main channel, when the video starts, we ask our English speakers to go to the Spanish translation channel to listen in English. Father Patricio is a diocesan priest from Yucatan, Mexico, and is the Dicastery's Officer of Research and Reflection in Integral Ecology. He's held significant roles, including diocesan coordinator for social pastoral care, executive secretary of the Episcopal Commission for Social Pastoral Ministry, the national director of Mexican Caritas, and coordinator for Caritas Camex for the Caribbean and Mexico. He's also helped found and lead the Mesoamerican Ecological Ecclesial Network, REMAM, and has contributed to the international climate advocacy with Caritas Internacionales at various COPs. So we'll listen to Father Patricio now. And again, we invite our English speakers to the Spanish channel.
Queridas amigas, queridos amigos de la plataforma de acción Laudato Si, muchas felicidades por este tercer aniversario. El Papa Francisco, en Laudato Si y Laudate Deum, nos hace un importante llamado a cuidar y defender la vida en cualquiera de sus expresiones. Este llamado se hace más urgente cuando vemos que hay signos de muerte a nuestro alrededor y nuestra casa común está amenazada y herida, gimiendo con dolor, y con ella tantas comunidades y sus territorios expropiados, devastados, saqueados, contaminados, dejando pobreza, desolación y muerte debido a la avaricia, a la ambición e intereses económicos y una crisis ecológica sin precedentes. Frente a este panorama, invitados por el Papa Francisco a no perder la esperanza y actuar con la creación, tema que inspiró la pasada Jornada Mundial de Oración por el Cuidado de la Creación, y para que nuestra vida sea canto de amor por Dios y cuidado de nuestra casa común, les animo con el Papa Francisco a actuar, es decir, a vivir una fe encarnada que sabe entrar en la carne sufriente y esperanzada de la gente, unir fuerzas para contribuir a repensar entre todos la cuestión del poder humano, extender la armonía entre la humanidad también a la creación en la responsabilidad por una ecología humana e integral, camino de salvación de nuestra casa común. Y esta es la gran tarea de la plataforma de acción Laudato Si, de actuar con la creación y a favor de la creación, desarrollar planes de acción, sí, acciones concretas para proteger nuestra casa común. Así pues, necesitamos diócesis Laudato Si, necesitamos parroquias Laudato Si, necesitamos familias Laudato Si, necesitamos jóvenes Laudato Si, necesitamos escuelas, necesitamos seminarios y casas de formación Laudato Si, Necesitamos empresarios y empresas Laudato Si. Necesitamos municipios y gobernantes Laudato Si. Les invito, pues, a inscribirse a este excelente instrumento, la plataforma de acción Laudato Si, involucrarse y participar activamente, integrándose a los planes de su diócesis a favor del cuidado de la casa común y la ecología integral. El cuidado de la creación no es solo una cuestión ética, sino también eminentemente teológica. Concierne al entrelazamiento del misterio del hombre con el misterio de Dios. Desde el Dicasterio para el Servicio del Desarrollo Humano Integral, muchísimas felicidades.
Thank you so much, Father Patricio. And my apologies to the English speakers. There's actually an English channel. So next time you can choose the English channel rather than staying in this main room. And hopefully you can go back and listen to that prayer, to his message later on. It's very beautiful about incarnating our faith for our common home. So now I'd like to introduce the director of the Laudato Si Action Platform, John Mundell, who will give a greeting. In addition to his work for the platform, John is also president, CEO, and senior environmental consultant for Mundell & Associates and has over 40 years of consulting experience on thousands of environmental projects throughout the world. He's a member of the Focolare movement, where he's part of a global environmental group called Eco1 and helped develop the Focolare Eco Plan in 2021. Locally, he's a founding member of the Archdiocese of Indianapolis's Creation Care Commission. So welcome.
Thank you, Sarah. I'm trying to find a place to share my screen. It usually is on here, and now it somehow disappeared. Sorry. Oh, now I see it. Thank you. I'll go ahead and share my screen then. I'm assuming you can see this.
Yes.
All right. Very good. Good day, everyone, and happy third birthday to the Laudato Si Action Platform. It's great to see everyone here online who literally represents millions of people around the world who have joined our collective efforts to take concrete steps and begin this journey of ecological conversion toward an integral ecology, recognizing that we are all connected. Let's all stand up right now, if not physically, at least in our minds, and begin applauding all the efforts of the more than 10,000 participating individuals, families, and organizations who've signed on to the platform to embark on this pilgrimage of reconciliation with our common home. All right, come on, let's do it. Let's stand. I know. Yes, we are now over 10,000 participants. Don't you feel good about that? I do. If you compare us to the life of a young child, so much has happened in such a short amount of time. We've gone from being born to eating solid foods, to taking our first steps and learning to walk and form simple sentences, to being a young toddler with independent thoughts and who protests when they don't get their way. Can you think of a time when you have all felt like that? It happened to me this last week. I threw a bit of a tantrum when I got some disappointing news, the election results of the United States, which made me worry about the future of our planet and the negative impact it will have on the global progress we are making on halting climate change and creating national and international laws and policies that care for the planet and the most vulnerable. That is just one example, but there are others. We aren't seeing the progress we'd like to see from the UN Climate Change Conference this year. And we have the increase in natural disasters continuing to impact communities all over the world. And there are people who seem to work against the progress we have made. But after letting my initial emotions dictate my reactions, I then stopped and took a deep breath. And I took some time to think about it. Yes, there are many challenges we will continue to face on our pilgrimage of ecological conversion, but there are also many blessings in store for us as we continue our journey. Should we be surprised by these setbacks when we embarked on this pilgrimage? After all, pilgrimages are known to test their participants. Unknown events and circumstances, difficulties we didn't bargain for, having our own personal limitations tested, and our own emotional roller coaster as we face each new twist and turn every day. I've disappointed and lost my faith so many times when I should be trusting instead. What helped me this time was the first line, though, of a refrain from a song we used to sing at Mass in the good old days when I was a bit younger. And it was this: I believe in the sun even when it isn't shining. I shared this with my friends along with a photo of this very cloudy sky as an act of trust that God is present, even in this situation where I was starting to lose hope. The rest of the song's refrain goes like this: I believe in love even when there's no one there. And I believe in God, even when he is silent. This refrain is based on the inscription on a wall in the cellar in Cologne, Germany, where a number of Jews hid themselves for the entire duration of World War II. To think that in the midst of terror and the real threat of death, someone was able to maintain their faith in the unseen and shared it for all to see. So, what has given me this confidence now and the faith to post this line, even in the midst of what feels like dark, ominous clouds blocking the light from above? It's my real solace and hope. It comes from all of you, my friends and fellow travelers on the Laudato Si Action Platform. This year, we have experienced so many positive steps forward. Our actions all over the world are forming a kind of Laudato Si Action Platform net across the world that continues to grow and thicken. New people are joining. Many of you have connected with others within your sectors in our community meetings. And most importantly, we are rolling out and putting into practice the Laudato Si plans we have made. We now have hundreds of actions going on daily all over the world to achieve our 7 Laudato Si goals. I wish each of you could see what the Laudato Si Action Platform team sees here, and we witness. The level of activity is truly inspiring, and it is slowly but surely helping to transform the Catholic Church and beyond. I want to leave you now with a few important thoughts that Pope Francis recently shared at the conclusion of the Ordinary General Assembly of the Synod of Bishops at the end of last month. In reflecting on that passage from the Gospel of Mark about the blind man Bartimaeus, who, while having to sit and beg at the side of the road, cries out to Jesus when he hears him passing by, Jesus, Son of David, have mercy on me. Jesus hears his cry and tells his disciples to call him over, and Bartimaeus immediately jumps to his feet and comes to Jesus. What do you want me to do for you? Jesus asked him. The blind man said, Rabbi, I want to see. Go, said Jesus, your faith has healed you. And then Bartimaeus immediately received his sight and followed Jesus along the road. Pope Francis compares all of us and the church to Bartimaeus. He says, blind Bartimaeus then represents that inner blindness which restrains us, keeps us stuck in one place, holds us back from the dynamism of life, and destroys our hope. But once he can see, he follows Jesus, and we too must keep moving. The Pope says, if we are to truly live, we cannot remain seated. Life entails being on the move, setting out, dreaming, planning, opening up to the future. In other words, in the face of challenges, when we are tempted to sit on the sidelines, the Pope invites us to action. For if we don't move, we will remain blind to the Lord's presence and unprepared to face the cries of those around us with adequate responses. So, along with the success of this year, amid the challenges that can blind us to hope, let's remember that the Lord passes us by every day. Do I hear him passing by? Am I seeking him to find the courage and strength I need for the journey? These are good questions, aren't they? I need to remember to constantly seek the Lord in prayer, to seek him in those around me working for good, with all those connected to the Laudato Si Action Platform. Let's remember that we are never alone. With you all connected, let's encourage one another to reason not according to the world's criteria, but to walk alongside the Lord and one another as we seek to ensure a safe planet for those who come after us. Walking beside the Lord gives us back the joy of following him along the way, and for us to the platform of pressing forward to better and deeper responses to today's ecological and social crisis. So, everyone, let's all remember that we are pilgrims on the journey, walking together the streets of the world, and not alone, but with the risen Lord in our midst, giving us inspiration, courage, and strength to continue our mission. How can we not respond with courage even in these difficult times? May God bless us all as we celebrate the coming year of the Jubilee, the 800th anniversary of St. Francis's Canticle of the Creatures, and the 10th anniversary of the publication of Laudato Si. Thank you.
Thank you so much. And if you can stop sharing your screen, then we'll line up our next thing because we have a great surprise for everyone. If some of you may have heard this already, but we have a very special greeting at the Angelus last November 10th, knowing that we are celebrating our 3rd year. Pope Francis gave a special greeting to all of us. So we'll watch that brief clip right now.
3 years ago, the platform of Laudato Si was blessed. I would like to thank those who continue to work on this platform, the Laudato Si platform, which you'll find on the website. And a word from Pope Francis on the UN Climate Change Conference taking place tomorrow, starting tomorrow in Azerbaijan. Pope Francis sending also his closeness to the people of Flores in Indonesia. There was a volcanic eruption there, and praying for those suffering, and renewing also his closeness to Spain, all those other people who are suffering from the floods in Spain and elsewhere. I'd like to pose a question. Have you prayed for Valencia, where there have been floods? Have you thought about making a contribution to help those? It's just a question I'm posing to you. I'm also worried about information coming from Mozambique, where there is post-electoral violence in Mozambique. Then also, of course, Gaza, that there will be a just solution. Let us pray for Mozambique, that the present situation will not make people lose trust in justice and in democracy. Let us continue to pray for the martyred people of Ukraine. Hospitals and civil public institutions are being attacked. Let us pray for Palestine, Israel, Lebanon, Myanmar, and Sudan. Let us pray for peace throughout the world.
Wow, that's really special to receive those greetings and also join him in prayer for all of these situations around the world. So we can remember that as we continue today and keep these situations and the many others in our hearts. Now, although it's a tough act to follow the greetings of a pope, I'd like to introduce our next speaker, Alonso de Llanes, from the team of the Laudato Si Action Platform, who will give us an update on the platform's participants. Alonso is currently based in Paris and is manager of the Laudato Si Action Platform. Alonso, the mic is yours.
Thank you. Thank you, Sarah, very much. I'm very happy to be here today. And I'm going to share with you my screen now. Can you see my screen?
Yes.
Great. So a year of milestones, 2023, 2024. We are very grateful for the 10,060 signups so far. And this accounts for 5,156 families or individuals and 4,904 institutions. We sent a survey that 35% of participants answered to, we were asking how many people are directly impacted by the actions related to integral ecology and Laudato Si. And according to this survey, 20 million people is a direct impact of institutions, families, and individuals working in the Laudato Si Action Platform. More than 150 countries are participating in the platform with many different languages in many different latitudes, and we're very grateful for the multiculturality and the differences between all of our participants. We are an extraordinary global community, and we cannot thank you because of all this transformation that you are dedicating to integral ecology. And what makes our community unique is that, first of all, this is a Vatican program. It's rooted in the vision of Pope Francis and supported by the Dicastery for promoting humanitarian development. We have monthly webinars, engaging sessions with experts and peers worldwide. We have over 850 tools and materials available in different languages on the website. We have the opportunity to learn from other participants and around the world and to create global connections through our webinars. And we are, and you are, a part of a movement that is fostering integral ecology worldwide. So thank you again very much for uploading your plans and your reflections. We have so far 879 plans that are telling us what are you doing in integral ecology, how are you achieving one or more of the Laudato Si goals. And of course, the 608 reflections are uploaded in the platform that how are you living this ecological conversion answering Pope Francis' call. So far in the reflections and the plans, we have seen deep spiritual insight from many different participants grounded in Catholic social teachings. We have seen how you are doing concrete action guided by the Laudato Si goals, how we are sharing these unified goals and unified vision throughout the world, and how communities are being empowered. So thank you very much for sending those plans, those reflections with your pictures, with your videos. We are very grateful to know what you're doing in every corner of the world. And of course, we're working together for the future generations in collective responsibility. Thank you very much again to all of you participants, to all of the institutions that have supported this integral ecology journey, and happy birthday to the Laudato Si Action Platform. Thank you. And now we are going to see this video that we prepare in September to celebrate the platform. So we're going to see this video first, and after I give the word to Sarah. Thank you.
Wow, it's so exciting to see how those numbers have grown just in this last year. Thank you, Alonso, and whoever prepared this video. Now, here with us today is a very special guest, someone who is among the 21 cardinals announced by His Holiness Pope Francis during the Angelus on Sunday, October 6th, His Eminence Cardinal-elect, Father Fabio Baggio. He is a member of the Scalabrinian Congregation, Undersecretary of the Dicastery for Promoting Integral Human Development, as well as the Director General of the Centro di Alta Formazione Laudato Si. Father Fabio Baggio will be elevated to the rank of Cardinal in the consistory scheduled for December 8th. So welcome, Father Fabio, and thank you for your service already now and in your new role. The microphone is yours.
Thank you, Sarah, and thank you to every one of you. Thank you for the invitation to be with you in this short moment of sharing some reflection with you. I would like to focus my presentation on promoting integral ecology, of course, grounded in the teachings of Pope Francis. The term integral ecology has been used in scientific literature at least since the beginning of the third millennium. In his Laudato Si, Pope Francis reinterpreted integral ecology from a theological perspective, focusing on its human and social dimensions. According to the Holy Father, integral ecology is an invitation to an integral vision of life, starting from the conviction that everything in the world is connected and that we are interdependent on each other, as well on our Mother Earth. Pope Francis' starting point is an observation made on the substantial interconnectedness of all elements of the planet. It cannot be emphasized enough how everything is interconnected: space and time, atoms and subatomic particles. The different aspects of the planet, all living beings, are intimately connected. And from this comes the conviction that every action done by one of the elements has a repercussion on all the others. In this relational vision of the world, Pope Francis highlights the importance of actions done by human beings. Referring to the biblical account of creation, the social teaching of the Catholic Church have underscored the special role played by human beings in comparison to the rest of creation. To the first human couple, God entrusts the task of subduing the earth and exercise dominion over every living creature. The dominion exercised by man and other living creatures, however, is to cultivate and care for the goods created by God. The whole chapter 10 of the Compendium of the Social Doctrine of the Church, published in 2004, is devoted to the duty of every human being to safeguard the environment. In his encyclical letter, Pope Francis tries to point out an element already mentioned in the compendium, namely the danger of attributing a completely independent existence to man and nature. With no prejudice to their role as guardians, according to the Holy Father, human beings must retrieve their own place in creation by recovering their creator's role. Pope Francis promotes an integral ecology which by definition does not exclude human beings. As creatures and not creators, human beings are called to restore a harmonious relationship with the rest of creation from within and not from the without, as a part of a whole. An integral ecology includes taking time to recover a serene harmony with creation, reflecting on our lifestyle and our ideals, and contemplating the Creator who lives among us and surrounds us, whose presence must not be contrived, but found uncovered. The emphasis is placed on the necessity of the relational dimension of human beings, and its realization is the conditio sine qua non for their personal fulfillment. Only in the relationship with creation and with God's revealing itself in it, it is possible to completely fulfill our humanity according to the Creator's original plan. Making explicit reference to the teachings of St. Francis of Assisi, the Holy Father stresses how integral ecology enhances our openness to categories which transcend the language of mathematics and biology and take us to the heart of what is to be human. The integral ecology suggested by Pope Francis is not just a response to the climate and environmental crisis we are facing today, but a specific lifestyle needed to be completely fulfilled, to completely fulfill ourselves as human beings. The need for an ecological conversion was introduced by Pope Francis John Paul II in 2001. We must therefore encourage and support the ecological conversion, which in recent decades has made humanity more sensitive to the catastrophe to which it has been heading. The term conversion must be taken in its Christian interpretation, the Latin translation of the Greek word metanoia, which means change in the way of thinking. Therefore, ecological conversion entails a deep change in the way we view our relationship with creation that involves a change of direction in action. Pope Francis takes up this important concept, elevating it to become an essential element of Christian vocation. The Holy Fathers refer to an ecological conversion whereby the effects of their encounter with Jesus Christ become evident in their relationship with the world around them. Living our vocation to be protectors of God's handiwork is essential to a life of virtue. It is not an optional or a secondary aspect of our Christian experience. Consequently, one can rightly say that the need for ecological conversion is certainly boosted, but not caused by the climate crisis we are facing. This crisis only highlights the fact that we have been taking the wrong path. The conversion hoped for by Pope Francis does not only concern Christians, but all human beings, both on individual and community level. The ecological conversion need to bring about lasting change is also a community conversion. 5 years after issuing the encyclical letter, Pope Francis indicated 3 courses of action to achieve ecological conversion. First, educational geared towards the care of our common home. Second, access to safe and drinkable water and adequate nutrition for all. And third, gradual replacement of fossil fuels with clean energy sources. These 3 proposals must be considered as a part of a larger group of actions that we must carry out in an integrated way. To reaffirm his personal commitment to ecological conversion, Pope Francis declared 2020 the Laudato Si year, and in 2021, he officially launched the process of joint commitment called Laudato Si Action Platform. This path aims to achieve 7 objectives in 7 years, namely the response to the cry of the earth, the response to the cry of the poor, the ecological economy, the adoption of a simple way of life, ecological education, ecological spirituality, and community engagement. And we are celebrating today this good endeavor. During his pontificate, Pope Francis has often supported his work and appeals with concrete signs of personal commitment. Integral ecology is no exception. On the 2nd of February 2023, the Holy Father instituted the Laudato Si Center for Higher Education, a scientific, educational, and social body tasked with offering information on the guiding principle of the encyclical letter Laudato Si. In fulfillment of his task in its first year of existence, the center developed the Borgo Laudato Si project, a project aimed at applying the principles set out in the encyclical letter Laudato Si in Pope's summer residence at Castel Gandolfo. The center, assisted by top national and international experts, has first outlined the 3 main pillars of the project Borgo Laudato Si: education for integral ecology, circular and generative economy, and environmental sustainability. The project involved 55 hectares of extraterritorial zone of Castel Gandolfo, Albano, divided into 35 hectares of wonderful gardens and 20 hectares of agriculture and livestock land, greenhouses, and service buildings. The implementation of the first project is planned in 2 major phases. The first phase concerns the 35 hectares of gardens, and in second phase, the rest of the compound. Regarding the first phase, the plan is constructing based on the marvelous natural, historical, and artistic patrimony of the Pontifical Villas, 35 hectares of beauty. The activities undertaken in the past month relate firstly to the conservation and care of the heritage entrusted to the center with the adoption of the new techniques and technological innovations. More recently, a series of training activities on integral ecology has been initiated and many others are about to be launched. Firstly, the garden has been opened for public visit to fulfill the Holy Father's desire to open his house to everyone. All visitors are provided with the opportunity to combine centuries of history, unique natural and artistic beauty, and an immersive Laudato Si itineraries in a single experience. Visitors are led to learn about the principle of encyclical letter Laudato Si, experiencing their concrete implementation and the urgent need for a true ecological conversion. Secondly, job training courses have been launched, initially in the areas of green maintenance, pruning, gardening, arboriculture. The training courses are addressing particularly to people in situation of vulnerability. All job training courses involved assistance with effective job placement and personal accompaniment during the first year of employment. Thirdly, educational activities on integral ecology aimed at children and young people will be soon organized. The educational offer will be diversified according to the age. For the youngest, primary and high school, guided tours and educational events will be offered with the possibility of activities and workshops adapted to the various ages. For university students, summer schools, training courses, and study days on the themes of Laudato Si will be organized. Fourthly, as a response to an emergent need, courses, seminars, and retreats on the fundamental themes of Laudato Si will soon be offered to entrepreneurs, CEOs, and directors. Indeed, many of them, regardless of their religious faith, have expressed their interest in deepening their knowledge of the recommendation and suggestion contained in the Laudato Si encyclical letter, with a view to an application in their business contexts. In the second phase, which will be launched in the second half of 2024, relates to the 20-hectare farming area. In this zone, some preparatory activities has already been carried out, envisioning the reorganization and development of the production activities that have characterized the papal farms of Albano for years. To make the project more sustainable, the center has developed a circular economy model based on sharing, reuse, repair, reconditioning, and recycling. Part of the project is the creation of an energy community based on renewable sources. In all activities, for most importance is given to the preservation of biodiversity and the harmonious interaction between human beings and nature. For the Jubilee, a fully flagged Borgo Laudato Si should be ready, a place of full immersion in integral ecology promoted by Pope Francis, a place where it will be possible to learn and touch firsthand the rudiments of a stewardship of creation. And I would like to end my presentation just with an invitation. I would like to invite all of you to visit the Borgo Laudato Si during the Jubilee year. Many of the activities have been already tested and are going to start in January 2025, and many of them will be done during the year and different events as well. Of course, the month of creation, September, will be full of activities for us. All of you are most welcome to come, or you can just follow in our website, the laudatosicenter.da, and see whatever we are trying to do. And I'm sure with your help, with your support and your prayer, and we are going to have this model presented to the world very soon. Thank you.
Thank you, Father Baggio, and hopefully many of us can make it there to come visit you in person. We would love that. And there's so many interesting things happening. So thank you for sharing. Now we're going to take a quick trip around the world with all of you to hear from, in 3 different places, hear from our Laudato Si Action Platform participants and what they're doing. We will start in Colombia with Monsignor Juan Carlos Barreto, who's currently the Bishop of the Diocese of Soacha, Colombia, and President of the Episcopal Commission on Social Ministry for Caritas, Colombia. We've invited him to speak because he's recently participated in COP16 last month, which is the UN's Summit on Biodiversity in Cali, Colombia, and the developments there. He's going to speak in Spanish, so we ask our English speakers to move over to the English translation channel now.
La COP16 sobre la biodiversidad realizada en la ciudad de Cali, Colombia, nos ha permitido tener una articulación muy importante a nivel de Iglesia Católica para que podamos llegar allí con nuestros mensajes y para que podamos articularnos también con otros actores de la sociedad en defensa de la biodiversidad. Al repasar un poco lo que ha sucedido en esta COP, podríamos tener nosotros en cuenta lo que fue la preparación, la realización y las tareas que vienen de aquí en adelante. Respecto a la preparación, hay que decir que tuvimos contacto con la Secretaría de Estado en el Vaticano, que delegó al nuncio apostólico en Colombia para que representara al Estado Vaticano en este evento, en el que el Vaticano participa como observador. El Dicasterio para el Desarrollo Humano Integral se ha comprometido a hacerle seguimiento a los acuerdos que surjan de la COP, y la Cáritas Internacional participó con 2 personas que estuvieron presentes en la zona azul. También nosotros pudimos articularnos a nivel de América Latina, con el CELAM, con Cáritas América Latina, con la REPAM, con el movimiento Laudato Si, y esto nos permitió construir un documento que lo pudiéramos llevar conjuntamente allí, expresando lo que la Iglesia proponía en la COP y lo que esperábamos de la COP. A eso le llamamos la ruta Laudate Deum, que concluirá con la COP30 en Brasil el próximo año. También a nivel de Colombia nos articulamos con la Conferencia de Religiosos de Colombia, con la organización de seminarios. También logramos que hubiera una participación de la red de universidades católicas, de los colegios católicos, de los proyectos de desarrollo y paz, y que la Pastoral Social Nacional recibiera esa delegación de la Conferencia Episcopal para coordinar toda la estrategia eclesial en esta participación, en este evento tan importante. También logramos que pudiéramos realizar una pre-COP eclesial en Colombia, con una participación de más de 200 personas, en donde vinieron delegados de las 78 jurisdicciones eclesiásticas y también de los diferentes sectores eclesiales con los cuales nos articulamos. También, en cuanto a nuestra participación como tal, en la zona azul estuvo presente el nuncio apostólico como participante a nombre del Estado Vaticano, y como observadores también Cáritas Internacional, Cáritas América Latina, la REPAM, el movimiento Laudato Si, y el director de Pastoral Social Nacional, lo mismo que el presidente de la Comisión Episcopal de Pastoral Social. Allí fue un espacio muy importante para saber lo que se dialogaba a nivel de gobiernos, y también para que pudiéramos nosotros participar en muchos eventos académicos y de diálogo a nivel de aporte a la negociación, y saber hacia dónde se estaban realmente apuntando con esta COP. Logramos en la zona verde, que es la zona de la sociedad civil, participar allí con unos 30 eventos eclesiales. Además nos vinculamos a eventos académicos, eventos que organizó también el gobierno nacional, para poder escuchar lo que se estaba planteando y plantear allí también lo que es nuestra propuesta de ecología integral desde la fe católica. Ahora nos quedan los compromisos a partir de la COP16. A nivel eclesial es muy importante que nosotros hagamos monitoreo a los acuerdos que se realizaron, que sigamos visibilizando las buenas prácticas, que realicemos un trabajo de pedagogía que es muy importante, porque hay un gran desconocimiento en este campo, en muchos fieles católicos también. Igualmente podemos avanzar por la senda de la esperanza. Aunque los problemas son graves, realmente podemos nosotros incidir para que haya transformaciones muy importantes. Vamos a promover también, es un acuerdo que se ha hecho también con el CELAM, que en las jurisdicciones eclesiásticas se pueda tener la Comisión de Ecología Integral y que haya comunidades Laudato Si, es decir, parroquias, comunidades religiosas, seminarios, colegios, universidades del mundo católico que tengan un enfoque de cuidado de la casa común. Respecto a los acuerdos, sabemos que pues no hubo muchos acuerdos como se esperaba o como se anhelaba por lo menos, pero se logró que la ciudadanía participara activamente. Realmente fue reconocida esta COP como la COP de la gente por la gran participación de la sociedad civil, y eso despertó un entusiasmo muy grande y se pudo hacer mucho a nivel de pedagogía, de educación ecológica, en protección de la biodiversidad. Esperamos que los gobiernos sigan dialogando. Ya se hicieron algunos acuerdos para proteger ciertas zonas marinas, para iniciar en algunos países obras de protección y de restauración con ciertos apoyos económicos. Sin embargo, falta mucho, falta muchísimo. La verdad es que la sociedad civil, y dentro de ella está la Iglesia, debe apurar el paso, porque tiene que salir en defensa del medio ambiente, hacer que los gobiernos y las empresas no sean los únicos que tomen decisiones sobre la biodiversidad, a veces desde perspectivas económicas nefastas. Que el Señor nos ilumine a todos con la fuerza de su Espíritu para continuar defendiendo la casa común.
Thank you so much for sharing that, Monsignor Barreto. Just a lot of hope and steps moving forward there. If there are 2 documents that he shared with everyone, and we're putting those 2 links in the chat, so please check those out. It's a concluding document from the meeting and the website of the Colombian Bishops' Conference on COP16. We also heard that many parishes are being asked to sign up following that meeting, which is wonderful news for the Laudato Si Action Platform. Next, we have Bishop John Stowe and Josh Van Cleef from the Diocese of Lexington, Kentucky in the United States. Bishop Stowe is a conventual Franciscan friar and bishop of the diocese since 2015. He serves on the Committee for the Catholic Campaign for Human Development for the United States Conference of Bishops and is the bishop president of Pax Christi USA and the Episcopal Advisor for the Catholic Committee of Appalachia. Josh Van Cleef is director of the Office of Peace and Justice for the Diocese of Lexington and coordinates the Laudato Si Action Plan for the diocese, as well as their Net Zero initiative. The Diocese of Lexington's commitment to net zero emissions by 2030, which was announced last April, is one of the boldest responses to climate change in the U.S. Catholic Church so far. So Bishop Stowe and Josh, many people here today would love to see their diocese giving a better witness and what it means to be caretakers of the earth. Please tell us more about how it happened in Lexington.
Well, thank you, Sarah. It's wonderful to be part of this 3rd anniversary of the Laudato Si Action Platform and to share the good work that Josh and so many of the people in our diocese have carried out. You know, a significant portion of the Diocese of Lexington is in the Appalachian Mountains, a beautiful region of the country, but one that has been really harmed environmentally by the extractive industries over the generations. First, it was lumber, then it was coal, and they went so far as to remove mountaintops to have easier access to coal. It is something that harms the people and harms the environment, harms the workers, and harms the whole community. We also have inherited a great tradition in the Appalachian region, and that is the Appalachian bishops back in 1975 began writing pastoral letters calling attention to the importance of caring for the environment, calling Appalachia a beloved home and asking for people to live in harmony with the land and with the people. Most recently, there was a People's Pastoral Letter issued in 2015. When the bishops were no longer writing the letters, the people of God took it upon themselves and called us to pay attention to the cry of the earth, as well as the cry of the poor. And I have always found those very related in terms of how Pope Francis has presented integral ecology through Laudato Si and in the lives of our people who have been so affected by environmental destruction. You know, in our part of the world, many people depended on coal for their livelihoods. And so the transition to green energy is rather challenging. And so it's all the more remarkable that with the effective leadership of Josh, which he will share some of in a moment, that we were able to get every parish to provide a plan for how they are enacting Laudato Si. We've been able to create opportunities for service, opportunities for worship, opportunities for integrating this whole spirituality that comes from our relationship with the earth. And we have a magnificent, beautiful environment in which to do it. We can understand why people want to preserve this environment and also sympathize with those who were part of its destruction only to maintain their own livelihood in an economically challenged part of the country. Our plan has been trying to work with our minds, with our hearts, as well as with our hands. We've been able to bring young people into the process of planting trees and reclaiming land for forests. We've been able to bring them on pilgrimages throughout Appalachia to see firsthand what environmental destruction has taken place. And we're trying to convert hearts as well. But we also know it's not just individual work that has to be done. We have to be better advocates. And now with the most recent presidential election, we have bigger challenges than ever. But we've gone too far to allow our work to stop or to be stopped. We have to continue to insist that God's gift to us is this planet, and we have a tremendous responsibility to handing it on to the next generations. And we're going to do everything that we can to make that happen. I'm happy to turn this over now to Joshua Van Cleef, who has been very involved from the very beginning of this project and has brought it to the point where it is now.
Thank you, Bishop John. I will share my screen. My name is Joshua Van Cleef, and I'm the director for the Office of Peace and Justice for the Diocese of Lexington. It is good to be with you. As a diocese, we are enrolled in the Laudato Si Action Platform, and we have asked each of our 59 parishes and missions to enroll as well. We are now completing our Laudato Si Action Plan, and it will include the Laudato Si Action Plans of each of our parishes, as well as diocesan-wide commitments. Let me sketch out for you a little bit of what we've done so far. So on Pentecost, each parish in our diocese received a letter from Bishop John Stowe introducing the Laudato Si action planning process, and we tailored this process specifically for our diocese. Pastors were then asked to enroll their parishes in the Laudato Si action platform and assemble a team. Teams consist of the pastor and at least 2 parishioners. Then teams completed an assessment of their parish and organized at least one parish-wide listening session focused on reflecting on the 7 goals of Laudato Si. Finally, with the assessment and listening session in hand, teams from all of our parishes created their plans. Those plans were submitted by October 4th to the diocese, and now we are working with our parishes to make sure that they are enrolled and those plans are updated or uploaded to the Laudato Si Action Platform. Included in the plans is a Laudato Si statement from every parish. Parishes have made commitments related to all 7 goals of Laudato Si, and have appointed a Laudato Si coordinator for each parish. This coordinator is charged with implementing the plan, monitoring the progress, and each year during the season of creation, evaluating and updating the plan. In January 2025, the diocesan plan will be published, and it will include the commitments from all of our parishes, as well as commitments from our diocese as a whole. The second aspect of our diocesan Laudato Si action plan, diocesan-wide commitments. These are institutional commitments. One such pledge was mentioned is our net zero commitment. On April 29th this year, in a press conference, Bishop John Stowe announced that the diocese was committed to net zero by 2030 for Scope 2 emissions. Scope 2 has to do with the purchased electricity. The commitment is for all of the buildings in the diocese, parishes, schools, rectories, all of the buildings owned by the diocese. And we know that Scope 2 is just the start. To take this on, we assembled a net zero task force that includes some diocesan staff, as well as a host of sustainability experts from throughout the Lexington area. We expect to have a net zero plan ready in 2025 that outlines our path to net zero, including what projects we will be taking on and our options for funding those projects. And we sincerely hope that our work can help and inspire other dioceses to pursue net zero as well. Now, looking to the future and our next steps, we want to focus on building capacity at our parishes. How can we build up the leadership of our parishes, co-responsibility, and grassroots participation in the Laudato Si ministry? Next Saturday, or a week from Saturday, on the 23rd, we'll have our first Laudato Si Action Team Assembly, where we will gather together all the teams from across our diocese. And at that point, we will hope to engage people on enrolling in the platform and building up their ministries. Also, starting in 2025, we will have regular gatherings for our parish Laudato Si coordinators to support them as they organize and mobilize their parishes. We will continue to look for ways to support and highlight the implementation of parish plans. For what we've done so far and what we have ahead, we know that leadership in Laudato Si must come both from top down and from the bottom up. Thank you to the Laudato Si Action Platform for giving us hope, for inspiring us, challenging us, and empowering us to put our faith into action and concrete commitments. Thank you.
Thank you, Josh and Bishop Stowe. It's so inspiring to see what can happen when a whole diocese comes together to take action like this. And I just also want to encourage everyone, we're all at different points in our Laudato Si journey. It's nice to see this as a wonderful, beautiful goal. And also don't get discouraged if you're at the very beginning of that, because we are all starting from somewhere and we're all on that journey together. So thank you so much from Lexington. And now our final stop on our journey around the world will be in Japan. We have a video greeting from Bishop Paul Daisuke Nauri from the Diocese of Niigata, Japan. Bishop Nauri is a missionary priest in the Society of the Divine Word and has been Bishop of Niigata, Japan since 2020. He's also president of Caritas Japan and is responsible for ecological issues within the Catholic Bishops' Conference of Japan. So it's under his leadership that the Laudato Si goals have been translated into Japanese so that it's easier to spread the message to everyone there. We'll listen to him now.
Hello, I'm Daisuke Narui SVD, Bishop of Niigata Diocese in Japan. I'd like to share briefly about how we celebrated Laudato Si in our diocese in 2024. Actually, 2024 was a very special year for the Catholic Church in Japan in relation to integral ecology. The Bishops' Conference of Japan published a book titled "Behold, it was very good, an invitation to integral ecology." As the title says, through this book, the bishops in Japan invite people to commit to protect all life through a lifestyle in line with integral ecology. This book uses see, discern, act method to introduce integral ecology based on Japanese context. It is in Japanese, but we are planning to translate into English next year. This book was published in July, and what we have been doing is introducing and promoting the book through symposiums, district assemblies, parish visits, creating YouTube clips, and so on. Apart from this, what we have been doing very much is to help and accompany the victims of the natural disasters, especially the one caused by earthquake in the New Year Day of 2024 in our neighboring diocese. I believe listen to the cry of the earth and cry of the poor is the core value of integral ecology, and we want to continue such activities in the coming years too. Thank you for listening, and may God bless you.
Thank you, Bishop Nauri. That was a wonderful trip around the world. And I know that there's many other stories that could be shared from each one of you. Each one of you has done so much and is the reason why we do have that hope to keep moving forward together, knowing that none of us is alone wherever we are in the world in our efforts for Laudato Si and for care for our common home. Just real quick before we conclude with the final song, I would like to tell you that our next appointment is December 5th for our next Laudato Si Action Platform webinar. So we hope to see you then when we'll talk about Advent and Laudato Si. Now I'll invite Sister Kathleen to lead us in prayer in a spirit of celebration and thanking God for all of the efforts this year. Sister Kathy is from the Congregation of the Sisters of St. Joseph and is a singer, composer, and activist who we've had sharing her music here before. So we look forward to hearing her again, and you can follow the lyrics to this song in your language at the link that we're providing now in the chat. So Sister Kathy, I pass it to you.
Thank you. And so we pray. Loving Creator, we give thanks for the global church and for the countless persons throughout the world who have responded to the call of Pope Francis and embraced the work of the Laudato Si Action Platform. Many hands, hearts, and voices have labored to make the mandate of Pope Francis their own. We thank you then, God, that when we listen attentively, you bless us to hear your voice in every person, in every creature, and in all beings in your one sacred community. Thank you for trusting us to hear and tend to the cries of the earth and the cries of the poor. Together we celebrate our oneness at the heart of your dream for all of creation. And so let us give thanks as we listen.
Hear the voice of ocean waves as they rush to shore, like thunder or like whispers. Midnight stars chant a hymn of beauty, but only in the dark must you listen. Hear the mountains telling stories of unfolding time, standing neath a crystal sky. There's a song of freedom you will learn to sing, but only when you see an eagle fly. So listen is one voice in all voices, chanting different melodies, inviting us to sing in harmony. Hear the voice of summer morn as she greets your day in a language of her own. Flowers splash their colors in a fragrant voice. With breezes partner gracefully they dance. Feel the voice of awesome joy when a newborn cries, or when gazing at a sunrise. The sacred mystery pulses in our human hearts with questions that can make us wise. So listen with your heart and you will hear the voice. Feel the love, make the choice. There is one voice in all voices, chanting different melodies, inviting us to sing in harmony. Hear the cry of earth in rivers, the forest, the air, and in hearts throughout all nations. Listen to the pain, and tears will fall like rain, with kindness that will make compassion grow. Come, be still, drink, be fed, as you hear wisdom's voice in our elders and all seasons. Lessons teach us from their time and memory, blessing us to dream, to dare, to live. So listen with your heart and you will hear the voice. Feel the love, make the choice. There is one voice in all voices, chanting different melodies, inviting us to sing in harmony, inviting us to sing in
Wow, that song is so beautiful. Thank you, Sister Kathy. Someone was asking if they can use that song. I'm sure she would be happy if you show this piece of the video recording on our YouTube channel if you would like to use that in any occasion. So now we're at our end. Thank you, everyone, again. Thank you to our translators. And we did put the registration link in the chat again for those who would like to join us right after this for our community meeting. We'll start in about 5 minutes. So best wishes to each one of you, wherever you are, whatever time of day you're at. And we hope to see you again in December. Happy 3rd birthday, everyone.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday.